Welcome and welcome back. Hey, in this video, we're going to talk about what we use for the number of reps for a ballistics training session. Okay, there's a lot that can go on here. So Roger, tell them what's up. I'll tone it down a little bit.
A little bit. So, important thing to think about is the total number of reps in a session. So, we're not talking about just one lift. We'll often program clean, swing, snatches, all in the same workout. So we're talking about total volume. Also, there are going to be some things that are going to influence the volume we use. What is your load? What is your rest? How are you structuring everything? So this isn't going to be, unfortunately, super straightforward, but these are the numbers we use to guide us. So first things first, we like to think about power. We don't program power with a lot of people. That's going to be for more experienced people. And when I mean power, I'm talking about really trying to accelerate the bell quickly, really trying to move it, maximum effort, not, oh, hey, I'm power training, like actual power training.
Yeah, like you're going to be like beat after this.
Yes.
Like you're like, okay, I did it, 30 reps, I'm done.
You're not going to use heavy load, because if you use heavy load, you won't be able to move it quickly. We usually like to stick around 30 reps total. Okay, we'll keep our reps underneath 5, because above 5, you tend to get into that 10-second range. And when we're looking at energy systems, we want to stick in that first energy system, which really runs out very quickly. So we like to keep the reps right around 3. With ballistics, it's really difficult to have 1 when you get your dead stops. You're using more energy. And you're also not getting that second rep is going to be different than your first rep.
Yeah.
When you got your first swing, the second swing is actually going to be a little bit easier most of the time. So you want to get that full cycle and at least get 2 swings or 2 snatches or whatever. But we usually do 3, somewhere around there for real power training. Keep the total volume right around 30. Can you go above that? Absolutely. It's going to depend on who you're working with and why, but usually that's where we like to keep it. So set that aside. Let's talk about just regular, how most people do swings, cleans, snatches. They do them quickly. It is a ballistic lift. Mm-hmm. If you're not doing it quickly, it's not ballistic. Let's start at the beginning. If we're starting at the beginning, we will do a ladder. Okay.
Yeah.
We will do
or just one.
Yeah. we're not doing a ton. So if we're doing something like a 1 to 5 ladder or something. With ballistics, it's a little more challenging to keep it that low, but generally speaking, we're going to keep the total volume somewhere around 25 to 75 total lifts. And with our real beginners, like 10 in a workout.
And you gotta remember, this is like when you're starting out and you're just trying to get a grasp on this. This could escalate quickly.
Yeah, for sure. So, but as you're getting into, I know how to swing, I'm not just learning, you've acquired the skill. 25 to 75 for my beginners tends to be enough to start. One thing I find with people new to kettlebells is they get very stiff. You've got to be able to relax and contract. And when you're in that new stage, this was definitely true with me. Everything was just really tight and contracted.
Yeah. So
I would get sore. I almost never get sore from doing ballistics now, but I used to because my muscles were so tight. So 25 to 75 for muscles that are not really familiar with ballistics is fine. Because again, people tend to get tight and they're lifting the bell a lot more than they think they are. And I promise you, if you're new to kettlebells, you're still doing it wrong. That's fine. Be patient. You'll do it right eventually. But you're going to find that in a way, it's going to get a lot easier as you progress. When we get into intermediate, this is someone who's been doing this stuff for a while. A lot of our, when we do our kettlebell club classes, we like to stick in this range a lot. We do go above, but somewhere between 100, 120. Really not uncommon to have that range for our intermediate people. They know what they're doing. We're not worried about them injuring themselves, but we find that when they really go above that, they start to get a little sloppy. They start to get a little slow. That's one of the things we're watching for is does the bell slow down?
Yeah.
And then there's going to be a big gap. Upper end, we usually like to keep it right around 250. We tend not to go above 250, but again, that's all of the ballistics we're doing. If we're doing, let's say, a complex that's got some cleans in it, we've got to count those. We can finish up with an EMOM with anywhere between 75 and 100 swings. So 250 is generally where we like to keep it. if you're really working some strength endurance stuff, you can go above that. But for the most part, for what we use and how we train people, we don't go above 250 unless there's a really good reason. I just find that after that point, again, things get sloppy and they get slow. We have seen these numbers echoed at other places. There's not a crazy amount of kettlebell research that really backs up a lot of this stuff. Kettlebell ballistic lifts are going to be different than other lifts, so some of this is just anecdotal. It's what we use. The last thing I want to talk about is the 10,000 swing challenge. So you do your 10,000 swings a day. It breaks down to 333.33 whatever swings a day.
That's why I was off. I missed that 0.33.
That's a lot of volume.
Especially over 30 days.
Sure. If you want to do it, do it. It is not a physical challenge, it's a mental challenge. There's no science anywhere that I've seen that supports doing that many swings without recovery. So it's a test, it's going to be a test. Are you going to get stronger? Probably not. You're probably going to get weaker because you're really going to push yourself and you're going to need some time off. So, you can train to get to that point, but I wouldn't go into that swing challenge thinking that you're going to come out of the other side stronger. Generally doesn't work that way. Maybe you do it, you take a big break and then you'll get stronger after. I don't know, but there really is nothing with that volume without recovery that supports that number. And the only reason we call that out is that some people think that because that challenge exists, that's the upper range, and they think that doing 300 plus swings or whatever in a workout is not just acceptable but scientifically backed. And I mean, I've seen, I believe it was Dan John who came up with the challenge, longtime kettlebell coach, and I've even seen him on video saying, I didn't say it was a good idea. It's just something you can do. Yeah. Okay, it's a challenge. It's meant to be a challenge. So, you want to take that in the spirit in which it was intended. It's intended to be a test, a way to challenge yourself physically, but more mentally. But it is not the ceiling that you're going to use for most lifts. Most of the time, you're going to keep your volume moderate. You're going to keep your workouts on the shorter side because your results happen in recovery.
Yeah, and when in doubt, I want you to remember this. Quality over quantity is often the way to yield. So swing away, all right? But keep it within the range or not. I mean, it's up to you. But if you want to be smart.
And if you've got other numbers that you use, we would love to hear them. Because again, this is stuff that we've used for a while, but it's not set in stone, and we're always trying to learn.
Yeah. So hey, leave that in the comments below, and be sure to download Bells by Iron Revival from the Apple App Store, and put your swings in there. Stay strong. Do that.
I'm not doing that.
Do that.
I'm not doing that.
All right. Well, I'll cut it.